There are Democrats from districts that the president carried who were skeptical about moving forward and an impeachment inquiry. They later embraced moving forward. Are you concerned at all that some of them may face a backlash if they vote for articles of impeachment and it could ultimately hurt them in their races come next year?
Well, thank you for your question. This has absolutely nothing to do with politics. It isn't about politics, partisanship, Democrats and Republicans. That's totally insignificant. It's about the Constitution of the United States, the oath of office we take to protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's about the president not honoring his oath of office. So, no, I'm not concerned.
Madam Speaker, you have emphasized in your...
Madam Speaker, on a slightly different note, are you concerned about what this vote might do to the country, and how did you weigh that as you came to this decision?
How this vote would do? Well, as I said this morning, I'm really sorry the president made this necessary by his complete disregard for the vision of our founders, for what he is doing. Article 2 says I can do whatever I want. It was completely contrary to what our founders had in mind. So all along, I said for 2 years, this is an impeachment is not a pleasant experience. It can be divisive. We don't take any glee in this at all. It's heartbreaking. But the president gave us no choice. So we're not going to say, well, we would honor our oath of office, but what? He's the one who's dividing the country on this. We are honoring the Constitution of the United States. And let me say this about our founders. On the Great Seal of the United States, it says, Novo Ordo Seclorum, a new order for the ages. They had so much confidence in what they were doing that they said it was going to last forever, for the ages, because they had written a constitution, a founding documents. Thank God they made it amendable so that we could expand freedom over time and always will continue to. But they predicated that on people honoring the Constitution of the United States. They could predict that would be a rogue president of the United States. They probably couldn't predict that there would be a rogue Senate leader who would just ignore the facts and the Constitution on all of this. And so we have the responsibility to do that, to strengthen the institution in which we save. And if we did not act on this, the message to any future president, Democratic, Republican, whoever she or he may be, would be, you can do whatever you want. And if we did not act on this, we should amend the Constitution and remove impeachment, which was very important to our founders. Novus Ordo Seclorum, from anyone. And I also, from anyone is my theme. That was New Order for the Age. From anyone is what I've always said about this. As we go forward, we did this in a very deliberative, fair, strong way, recognizing our founders gave us many calls to action. The times have found us, found them to establish a new country, fight for it, and the rest, found us to protect and defend what they did by honoring our oath of office. But I also said, e pluribus unum, from many one. So we take that heed of that too, to be uniting in what we are doing and what we are doing, to be healing in what we are doing, instead of having an increased violation of what our founders intended and undermining our democracy. We see our mission as defending democracy for the people.
Can you address one? Madam Speaker, in your remarks this morning, you said that we will proceed in a manner worthy of our oath of office.
That's right.
Many have indicated this is one of the most important, serious things that the House of Representatives could undertake.
Absolutely.
So,
it's historic.
Right, and you have not put a timetable on doing this. It's been announced there's going to be another hearing on Monday.
Presentation of what we have in the committees will be presented on Monday.
Right. So, is there any sort of concern about, you said it's not a blur, but moving this before Christmas, moving this before the new year, anything on that may be taking more time so that the public understands? There was one member this morning, Debbie Dingell, who said that she was meeting with a woman at a funeral and said, I don't understand all of this. Is it important to maybe to slow this down, take more time, proceed in a manner worthy of your office?
We are proceeding in a manner worthy of the Constitution. We feel comfortable with all of the time that has gone into this 2.5 years since the appointment of Mueller and all that transpired since then. I have confidence, humility, again, a heart full of love for America. We are doing this in the right way, and I'm very proud of our chairmen who have taken that. If some people have some unease, we'll catch them up, and we haven't asked anybody for a vote, nor will we. People will make their own minds up about what this is about.
HR 3.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do you hate the president, Madam Speaker?
I don't hate anybody.
Representative Collins,
I was
the
raised
reason
in a
I asked.
Catholic house. We don't hate anybody, not anybody in the world. So don't accuse me.
I did not accuse you.
You did.
I asked a question.
You did. And
Representative Collins yesterday suggested that the Democrats are doing this simply because they don't like the
I
guy.
had nothing to do with it. Let me just say this.
I think it's an important
I
point.
think the president is a coward when it comes to helping our kids who are afraid of gun violence. I think he is cruel when he doesn't deal with helping our dreamers, of which we're very proud. I think he's in denial about the climate crisis. However, that's about the election. This is about the election. Take it up in the election. This is about the Constitution of the United States and the facts that lead to the president's violation of his oath of office. And as a Catholic, I resent your using the word hate in a sentence that addresses me. I don't hate anyone. I was raised in a way that is a heart full of love, and always prayed for the president. And I still pray for the president. I pray for the president all the time. So don't mess with me when it comes to words like that.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kate Baldwin. Thanks so much for joining us. That is a very unique amount of passion that you do not often see out of Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. A fascinating moment that we're watching play out. Let me just get right to it, because there is a lot that has just happened. First, let's go over to Capitol Hill. Phil Mattingly is there for us first and foremost. So, Phil, talk to me about this. What we just saw right there, Speaker Pelosi, as you well know, she often will take a final question, she will leave, and she does not take questions as she's heading out the door. But getting the question about what we heard in the hearing yesterday, that the only reason Democrats are doing this is coming from Republicans. The only reason Democrats are going after impeaching the president is because they don't like him or they hate President Trump. That clearly touched a nerve.
Yeah, that was quite a coda to that press conference, which kind of was an in-the-weeds, kind of in-depth look at what they're trying to do, how they got to this point, why Ukraine was the reason that they actually sparked the impeachment inquiry and not anything they found before that. And then finishing with what you just saw from the speaker. Kate, you made a great point. Once she's done, she typically walks off. She might address a question if it's about the Golden State Warriors, but very rarely comes back to the microphone. So clearly touched a nerve, and I think clearly kind of hit her in a personal manner. And I think you're starting to see, and I'm not saying that this is a new thing necessarily, because this place has been pretty divided for some time, but the kind of impassioned beliefs of individuals really on both sides and the kind of attacks that are coming from both sides have left people pretty raw. And I think you saw the speaker respond to that. I think you're also seeing Democrats respond to the idea, which has been pushed by Republicans. To some cases, it's very true, depending on which member you're talking about, that they wanted to just impeach the president the second he got into office. That's not indicative of the entire caucus. That is indicative of some in the caucus. Those that it's not indicative of take that very personally and are very offended by that, particularly when it's, as the speaker laid out there, the idea that she hates the president or something along those lines. So I don't know what the speaker's thinking or her personal feelings at all times, but that's about as close as you're going to get to have her laying that out. Kid, I will note, you noticed, you said that a lot is going on right now. It feels like every day is a news avalanche up here to some degree. While the speaker was speaking, the House Judiciary Committee noticed their next impeachment inquiry hearing. It was the one we expected. It will come on Monday. It will be a presentation of the House Intelligence Committee's impeachment inquiry report, the 300-page Democratic report. Democratic counsel will present that on Monday to the committee. The Republican counsel will have an opportunity to present their 123-page rebuttal report to that as well. Why this hearing is important, first off, obviously bringing to light what we were all reading is important from the public perspective, understanding what's actually going on for both sides of the committee, but also this is the crucial next step. We obviously had the speaker this morning announce that articles of impeachment are being drafted drafted. She's working with her committee chairs on that. This was the next public step that they had to take to get to this point, and all this underscores is what we've really been saying, and you and I have been talking about now for a number of weeks. Democrats are on a timeline. They are moving quickly. They plan on finishing this by Christmas, and the Speaker addressed that specifically, saying this isn't because of politics or because of an election or because of what one member thinks or another member thinks. From her perspective, at least publicly, this is about the Constitution. It's because they feel like they have to act now. They can't not, based on what they've seen. And so they're pressing forward, and they're moving forward quickly.